Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Techno Brew. And this time I have the honor of having the wonderful Abby Blackwood as my guest today. And Abby is a digital marketing specialist, dare I say, Maverick, based out of the UK. Abby, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here. My first ever podcast. So feeling a little bit nervous, but it's an honor. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, what an honor for us to be your first. Thanks for joining. We're going to talk about going viral and the differences between organic and paid, how the nature of paid ads have changed, how disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence
Yeah.
have kind of changed the social media landscape, and then my favorite topic, personal branding and how to grow that.
I've probably got, I'd say, a little bit of experience in going viral. Sort of everybody seems to have going viral as their goal when it comes to social media. And a couple of months ago on LinkedIn, one of my posts hit 2.5 million views, which is crazy. I can't even really fathom how many people that actually is. I was talking to my business partner, and he was like, so we're obviously based in the UK, and he was like, Wembley Football Stadium seats like 50,000 people. And he was like, you got to times that by tens and tens to reach 2.5 million. So when you sort of put that in perspective, you're like, oh my gosh, wow, that is a lot of people. And the post that I actually did that went viral was talking about how I was made redundant in lockdown. So I think the reason for it going viral was because many people could resonate with it. Because it was in a time, it was just after COVID, loads of people had lost their jobs, especially in marketing. People didn't have the funds to invest in marketing anymore. People were getting let go of. And I did work for you two as well, Carlos. Yeah.
Yes.
So like I said, many people, not even just in marketing, in any industry, people could look at that post and they could relate to it, which is really sad actually, because it was such a difficult time for so many people. But yeah, that post, I remember doing the post, I think it was about like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And then I just put my phone down and sort of went to sleep that night. I thought nothing. And I woke up the next day and LinkedIn had actually crashed on my phone. I couldn't even open the app because there was like thousands and thousands and thousands of comments, notifications, LinkedIn messages, requests, everything. So it was absolutely crazy. And then sort of from there, I've had a couple more viral posts following on from that. I think maybe because I sort of learned what people like and what they're interested in, what they can resonate with. And then I sort of just follow suit with those posts. And I'd say probably once a month I get a post that goes pretty viral, which is quite impressive, to be honest.
2.5 million might as well be a trillion in my eyes, because I'm happy if I get 100. If I get 100 or more, I'm like, yes, success.
I mean, 100 is better than nothing, so it's still something to celebrate for sure.
But I really like what you said about the personal touch and how it resonated with the audience.
I would say going viral, because like I said, a lot of people will come to me and they'll say, oh, we want to go viral. And I'm thinking the first question is, first of all, why do you want to go viral? Because it's a great thing, and you can get so much exposure, so many eyes on your business. It opens the door to so many opportunities. But there's also the reason of why, because some of the eyes on my post, they were just either random people or people not being so nice, or there was such a wide audience. And so you really have to narrow down, okay, why do you want to be viral? And I always say to my clients, or just people that I'm in conversation with, the goal should never be to go viral. So as soon as I speak to someone, I say, get that out of your head. That shouldn't be the goal, because it's really hard to track it and follow the metrics. It's also really hard to go viral, so you can't really tailor a strategy for that. So yeah, I always tell people, don't hurt your focus. Although it can do amazing things and can open so many doors, and it is great, it should never be the goal with social media. Especially in my opinion, because I'm very focused on organic content and being in it for the long run. So yeah, my focus is never go viral. It's just be consistent, do what you're doing every week, and keep everything seamless, and you will see results that way. So you don't always need to go viral to really great results, which I've definitely found on my sort of journey for my own business and for my own personal branding.
Yeah, I think that's a really great thing for all of us to take stock in, because it's not overnight. And there was another post you had about overnight successes and I thought was really comforting. How long did it take you to get to this viral post? I mean, you've been active for some time now.
Yeah, so well, touching on that subject and my post about the overnight success, I thought it was really important to do a post about that because I follow so many people on LinkedIn, and you see so many people saying, oh, they hit 6 figures in XYZ, or they've got 20 members of staff, or they've grown the business by 120%, and you sort of see all the highlights of people's lives and the business. And I think a lot of people can get caught up in that. And if you're not seeing those results in your business or on your journey, you can sort of think, oh, well, I must be doing something wrong, or comparing yourself, or why am I not like this? So I did a post just saying, overnight success, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it isn't an overnight success. It's the result of a lot of hard work, a lot of late nights, a lot of consistency. And that's the same for my journey. So I've been viral, a couple of times, but I've been posting now for about 18 months consistently on LinkedIn. I'm up to about 30,000 followers now, which is, again, really, really amazing. But it's not happened overnight. It's taken, well over a year. And it's really hard work. So that's something that I always say again to people is, don't always listen to people that say, oh, you can just go viral and the next day you'll have 30,000 followers and 100 new customers and people in your inbox. It's definitely consistency, and you have to be in it for the long run, 100%.
I think that's a great segue into organic versus paid. I'm happy and comfortable with the long view, building a relevant following, because that's what's important to me. I want to be relevant to the people that I'm trying to communicate with. But there is the paid route as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different option. And if you've got the funds, I think, and you've got a solid strategy about what you are trying to accomplish with your social media and digital marketing engagement, then go for it. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that. How do you speed up that 18 months?
Well, you pretty much said it perfect. So firstly, it's funds and your financial position. If you've got the money to invest into paid ads is definitely the quicker route. You see results almost instantly with paid marketing. So if you have the funds for that, people tend to go down that route. However, organic is obviously longer, and you're in it for the long game. But it's also a less entry level. You don't have to invest a lot of money. However, they both work really well hand in hand. So I would never recommend doing paid advertising if you haven't boxed off your organic strategy. You can be running, whether it's Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever it may be, you can run in that, getting loads of eyes on your page. But then if they're going to investigate further and look at your LinkedIn profile or your Instagram profile, and there isn't much to look at, you're not investing time into doing organic content, that's when there's a gap. And you have to bridge that gap, so people will come on your page and they'll think, oh, they looked really good. We saw this ad, we'd like to proceed. But then they may go to look on your LinkedIn and it doesn't add up. So, you're not posting, you're not consistent. There's nothing for them to look at. So I think having organic and paid together is a recipe for perfection.
It kind of turns into a situation of putting good money in after bad. If you've got nothing really that's keeping people there on your page or on your channels, and you've paid all this money out to get eyes on it.
Yeah, and then you've just wasted, you could have spent 400, 500, even in the thousands on a paid marketing campaign, and you might not see the results that you wanted, or it might fail drastically, and that can be because you've not got an organic strategy in place that's running alongside that. So never, the two always come hand in hand, and like I said, organic for me is the way to go.
How have paid ads changed from 5 years ago, 2 years ago? What?
I think definitely the biggest factor is people now, the consumers, from a consumer's point, they don't like being sold to at all. So especially sort of like the Gen Z generation, as soon as you could be scrolling on TikTok, and as soon as you see somebody that's posting an ad, so they're getting paid to post this, in our minds subconsciously we sort of switch off, because we know, okay, well, there's sort of an ulterior motive to this. We're being sold to directly, and people don't like that. Whereas back in the day, you'd see an ad on Facebook and you'd go, okay, this looks good, I'm going to go to the website and take the next steps. Whereas now I think people are a lot more cautious of just being sold to and maybe not being the company's not being honest in what they're selling. So people are very wary. And I think that's where we've seen a decrease in the results that you get from paid ads now, because people aren't just clicking on them and going straight to buy in. They're doing the research in the back, or maybe they're being turned off by an ad because they don't want to feel like they're being sold to. They want to feel like they've made the decision to buy themselves, as opposed to someone sort of saying, okay, buy from us now. So yeah, a huge turning point in the paid ads world is how the consumer acts to the ads. I think it's a lot harder to sell to people, especially when you're paying, which goes back to organic. When you're being organic and you're just posting real life things and day to day and being consistent, that's when you can build up the trust with your consumer or whoever you're targeting. And that's where, you can build trust, and then people will buy from you because they like you, because they trust you, as opposed to just seeing an ad on Facebook and thinking, okay, I've got to buy from this company.
That sounds like, I guess, a bit of a tricky balancing act then, in terms of, not squandering the trust you might have established with your audience when you're engaging in paid ads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying, paid ads, they're terrible, they don't work, because people see amazing results. So, definitely don't cross them off and say, okay, we're never going to do that. But I think just the way that the world's going and the way people think, you just have to be careful and sort of tailor your strategy to that. And that all comes into the organic strategy, because you can do case studies, testimonials, you can talk about business ethics, whatever it may be, and you can build that trust with your clients. So I think definitely for recruitment industries, it's a great way to sort of tell people what you do, get them to trust you, get them to start a conversation with you, as opposed to just putting a paid ad out there and sort of hoping for the best.
Tell me, Abby, what have you seen in terms of AI's impact on social media?
Okay, well, first of all, if I hear one more time that AI is going to replace marketers, I will scream, because no, it is not. It is not. Sort of all we're seeing at the moment is AI is amazing, AI is this, AI is going to take over marketers' jobs, and that is just so not true. I think the thing about AI is it's great. There's so many benefits to it. It can actually really, really help with marketing, whether that's helping you with your campaigns, in analytics, a broad array of things it can really help with. And I use it day to day, but definitely not replace the human touch. And a huge thing in marketing is you have to be different from other people. So, to stand out, say for you, a recruitment agency, to stand out from another, you have to be different. And how can you be different if everybody's just using AI? Because you're all just going to be the same then. So that is, I've spoken to loads of clients who say, okay, well, we're just going to put into, say, ChatGPT, we're just going to say, write our strategy, write our posts, and we're good to go. And it's just like, no, please don't do that. Anybody listening to this, you, Carlos, anybody, just don't do that, because you're just going to be doing what everybody else is doing. So although it's really good, you can't replicate human emotions and human touch, and AI definitely can't do that. So yeah, for me, it's a no. I love AI. It can do amazing things. It can really help. I know there's so many websites and apps and tools now that you can use with everything from content creation to, like I said, building a strategy. But you have to have the knowledge, and you also have to be able to input the right information for AI to give back to you. So you have to have that knowledge anyway for it to then help you and work as best as it can. So yeah, in terms of AI taking over all these jobs, and that's just crazy. And if that happens, then I'm in the wrong, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think you are. I think you're absolutely right. There is a certain amount of savviness that's required, I think, when using tools like ChatGPT. And I definitely use it. I don't use it daily, but I do use it occasionally. And for me, it's more uncovering perhaps an idea that wasn't immediately coming to mind, or that I haven't considered. And definitely for me, it's more of a sounding board. And any messaging that I'm going to put out there, I'm going to tailor it myself.
And it's perfect, if you've got a little bit of brain fog, or you're just having a creative block and you just sort of need to put your ideas down. And for someone, like you said, like an assistant, to just come back with something that you might not have thought of, or put their input in, and you to go, okay, this is amazing. So it's amazing for that But like you said, you've then got to go away with that information and sort of tailor it and add your tone of voice, because it's a robot. So, it just sounds the same. So then you have to take your brand's voice and apply it to what you're saying, and make it your own. But yeah, it's absolutely great. There's been some days where I've gone, oh my God, my brain is just not working. I can't think of anything to post. And I've gone to AI and, type that in, and it will give me something back that then I can go away. And I just think on the whole, you can't have a whole marketing strategy based off AI.
You definitely have to have fundamentals from a marketing perspective if you're going to dive into using AI. Because if you're relying on it to build your entire strategy, then you right off the bat you're on the wrong foot.
Yeah, and also people, because AI is getting so big now, people can, if someone's done a post on LinkedIn and they've used AI to write it, I can look at that post and I know that it's been written by AI. Just because of literally how it's formatted or the tone of voice. So then you read it and you sort of, questions in your start to pop up in your mind, because you think, well, they've not actually written this. So is that even what they think? Is that even, whatever it may be, you start to doubt it. And I think a lot of people, if you're using AI, you will start to recognize that, and you'll see even companies using it. You'll think, oh, well, they've just used AI to write that. I think you have to be very wary of that as well.
Talking about personal brand, the relevance of it even to your associated business campaigns.
So personal branding is massive now. It's all you hear about in marketing is personal branding, which I love because I think it's amazing. I have my own LinkedIn and then the business LinkedIn profile, and pretty much 90% of what I do on LinkedIn is through my own personal branding. So as Abby Blackwood, I post everything on there. And like you just touched on before, I think a lot of it comes down to emotions. So I've seen great results and great interaction and great growth from just being real and just being open, telling full stories, just everything that people sort of can resonate with. And I think that's, if you're wanting to build a personal brand, I think the starting factor would always be that. Because like we said, again, you see on LinkedIn people talking about overnight success and all the great things. But people love to see, the trials and tribulations of business and the hardships and how people have got to where they've got. So yeah, when it comes to building a personal branding strategy, I would say focus on evoking emotion. If you can create something and someone's going to stop on it and it's going to evoke an emotion within them, then you're doing something right. When you've got a business as well, I think a lot of, especially founders, CEOs now, they're building their personal brand, and then in turn, that is increasing their business because they're funneling people. So say from their LinkedIn profile, they've built really strong community of people on there, and then they're just filtering it through to their business. So then people can buy from them or buy their service or whatever it may be. So yeah, personal branding, massive. I would definitely say to people, business owners or whoever it may be, to put some time into creating a strategy for your personal branding, because you can see really, really great results. It can open so many opportunities, not even just business wise. You can meet incredible people, networking. There's loads and loads of positives from it. But again, it takes a lot of time. It's being consistent. It's showing up every single day. Some days you might have a post that maybe dips and you don't see the results that you want, but you have to, just the next day, you have to create a new post. You have to carry on, be consistent, and show up every day.
What do you think are some things to avoid when it comes to personal branding that might be counteractive to what your desired outcome will be?
I would say anything that's controversial, anything like politics, or just anything that people can not necessarily have a different opinion on, because obviously everybody has a different opinion anyway. But I think anything that maybe cause a stir, I would definitely stay away from. Definitely, speak your opinion, because that's what everybody's entitled to do. But I would just be wary of what you're putting out there.
So many things that we can talk about when it comes to digital marketing. We talked about going viral, organic versus paid, nature of paid ads and how they change, emerging technologies like AI, personal branding. Is there any one resounding thought that you think you want to leave with us?
Always have to make sure you've got a really solid strategy in place, because there's so many elements of marketing. There's so many things fall under the bracket of digital marketing, whether that's web design, SEO, paid ads, organic, whatever it may be. People can get really lost because there is so much going on. Because if one part of the system or the strategy is a little off, or there's a missing link, then the whole marketing campaign and strategy can fall apart. So I would say really invest some time, money into putting a solid strategy together, and you should always see results.
That's, I think, the perfect way to end this conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. How does the audience get a hold of you? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Abigail Blackwood on there, or you can contact me through my business, which is simplysocialmediagroup.co.uk. All my contact information on there.
Thank you so much. This has been a real pleasure. It's always wonderful talking to you, and always get so much out of our conversations. And
thank you to you massively.
Right.
Okay, thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.